Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie O'Hara. Alongside me tonight is ex-Chelsea defender Jason Cundy. Now all day on talkSPORT we've been reacting to the tragic death of Liverpool forward Diogo Jota, who sadly passed away in a car accident earlier this morning. Liverpool fans, football fans, we're going to pay tribute tonight. We're going to take some calls. If you want to phone up and talk about the fantastic player, family man and person that he was, please give us a call on 03717 223344. We'll touch on other things as well. Adrian Dunham's going to be joining us to look ahead to the Lionesses' first game against France on Saturday. We'll get a fallout from the day 4 of Wimbledon as well. Jack Draper got knocked out in the second round, but get involved in the show. It's obviously a very sad day for everyone involved in football and throughout the world, but we're going to pay tribute to the amazing man Diogo Jota is. Jace, tough one, matey, tough.
Good evening, matey. Good evening, everyone. Yes, today has been one of the days that you rarely get in sport, and you hardly ever get in football. To lose a player of Diogo Jota's quality, international Premier League winner, won the UEFA Nations League not long ago, Premier League. 28 years of age, alongside his brother. There are no words, Jay. I've since I woke up this morning. In fact, the first person that told me about it was you. When I woke up this morning, you put it in the sports bar group.
Oh, I couldn't believe it, mate. I couldn't believe it.
When you wake up and you hear that news, I had to check it. Not to say that it's like you said, something like Diogo Jota. I can't say what you said, but then you've got to go on social media to try and find out what happened. And then I checked it again, and you're looking for multiple sources is this real?
Is this actually happened? Yeah.
Is this real?
I know, I've done the same thing, mate. I know, I've done the same thing. I was in a group chat this morning with, woke up with all the ex-Fulham players I used to play with, and I got up to do the school run, and first thing I woke my eyes up, look at my phone, and someone obviously put in there that he'd sadly passed away. And again, I've done the same thing. I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe what I was...
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. I was like, no way, this can't be true. And you go looking, it was, before it even really come out as a story, and then all of a sudden it becomes true, it gets around, and you find out that it is true. And Jace, I have to be honest, mate, it really affected me today. So I've really struggled to come to terms with the fact, just because of what his family, his children, the amazing player that he was. He feels like the person that he was. He was I loved watching him play football. First and foremost, I know I'm a Tottenham fan, and but I loved him as a player. I loved just watching him be on a football pitch and what he'd done on a football pitch. So, it's just tragic news. We've both been football players. We've both had that life of having all the adulation in the world at your feet, and just such a sad, terrible day, mate. And I sat there this morning and thought, how do you come on a radio show and talk about it? And I think the only thing you can do is try and pay tribute to and celebrate his life, and talk about how great he was as a person, his moments in life, the things he's achieved. And look, it's obviously a terrible situation, and I can't get my head around how sad it is.
No one can, Jay. No one can.
You just don't see it. You just don't. You just look. It happens. I know it happens, and people sadly pass away every day. But you just, Premier League star. You just don't see it happen.
The thing is about footballers that we hold them in, and we all do it. I'm a football fan. You're anyone listening to this. Most people listening to football fans. We hold them in such high regard, and because they represent us. But the thing is, we watch Diogo Jota. You haven't got to be a Liverpool fan to appreciate him. You've not got to be a Liverpool fan to appreciate Liverpool. You've not got to be. You can just appreciate who he is, who he plays for, what he does, and we've said it many times, Jay, and analysed him as a player, what he does, and then his ability in the air. That's the thing that when I had time to digest, and that I'm still digesting it now, is the one thing that struck me about him. If someone said to me, just describe Diogo Jota, first thing I say is, for his size, he was unbelievable in the air. The amount of headers he scored. That was the thing that I'm thinking, well, he wasn't big boy.
No.
And then you kind of, again, diagnose or certainly look back over what he was as a player. And he was an integral part. He had injuries. So that was something that I look back again about how maybe his career at Liverpool, or certainly the amount of games he started, was stifled by the injuries. I remember, you think about this player.
Yeah.
because I haven't got his stats. I haven't got, I don't. I follow him. I follow many footballers. We both do.
Yeah.
But the thing that struck me is how brilliant he was in the air, and how he was kind of stifled with the injuries that he'd had. Now he would have had more minutes, but I remember goals he scored. There was a goal I can't remember what it was. He just danced through the middle of the pitch. But
yeah,
then you move away from football, and when you move away from football, you then talk about the human side of it. Because we hold footballers in such high regard, they're just like footballers are just humans. They're just us. And we worship them. They represent us on the pitch.
Yeah,
and it's hard to comprehend even now, and that someone of his tender age and have achieved so much, and of course it's been revealed that he was wedded,
brother,
plus his brother. The tragedy it's. There are no words, Jay.
No.
I'm finding it hard to find the words about what.
It's unimaginable pain for everyone involved, and I can't imagine the pain that his family's going through. And obviously, me and you, everyone at talkSPORT, I'm sure everyone, wants to send their condolences to him. And look, I really do believe that we would. Want to hear from Liverpool fans, Wolves fans, Porto fans, the teams that he's played for.
And Portuguese, anyone Portuguese now? We've got World Cup next year. Think of that. Think of that. How.
I know it's terrible news, but I want to try and get some people to come on and talk about him and talk about him in such a fantastic light and the great man that he is. We have obviously had tributes, of course, have been pouring in throughout the day here on talkSPORT.
Diogo Jota's got one back for Portugal.
Devastating news, even for us. I mean, it's like we lost somebody we knew for a long time. It's a month ago. We were Diogo was in the Portuguese national team who won the Nations League.
I'm completely numb. I'm still shaking. Because just can't believe.
Cristiano Ronaldo has just said, doesn't make any sense. Just now we were together in the national team. Just now you were married. To your family, to your wife and children, I send my condolences and wish them all the strength in the world. I know you will always be with them. Rest in peace, Diogo and Andre. We will miss you both.
Yeah, Liverpool forward Diogo Jota tragically died today in a car accident. Tender age of 28, alongside his brother Andre Silva. The accident occurred in the early hours of this morning in the Spanish province of Zamora. He leaves behind his young children, his wife. He's married just 11 days ago. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy joined talkSPORT earlier today and paid tribute to Jota following his passing.
But he will be remembered so fondly for the goals, for the creativity, for the humility. Supposed to be a great lad. I haven't met him, but I've got friends who work on the staff at Liverpool who speak very well of him. I suppose the best judge of a man really when they have setbacks. He's had a couple of really bad injuries. He sometimes isn't in the first 11, and what does he do? He comes on. He works tirelessly. He comes up with important goals. He plays for the team. He plays in any position he's asked. I don't know what the lads think, but when you see that attitude of a player, it tells you a lot about the man, I think.
Yeah, obviously Danny Murphy played for Liverpool, and he graced the midfield pitch at Anfield, and he's going to be a sad loss for every Liverpool fan, for football fans in general. He's a terrible, terrible tragedy today. Let's go to Billy. He's a Liverpool fan, right, Bill?
Right, Billy.
Bill? Bill not there? Bill?
Hi, mate. Hi, guys.
How are you, Bill? You okay?
Billy.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, today's been just shocking, really. Although you don't know the person as an individual, you feel that you do know them because you share those kind of magical moments. I was at a conference today, and the person next to me who I didn't know said, "Are you a football fan?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm a big Liverpool fan." And he just showed me his phone. And I said, "Are you joking?" I said, "Look, although that's an official website," I said, "Is that real?" And he said, "Yeah." And it was just heartbreaking. I mean, we all know him as a footballer, but I mean, he's a father, he's a son, he's a brother. It's just extraordinary. And the outpouring of emotion from football fans all around the world, not just Liverpool fans, was just touching today. But I mean, it's extraordinary. I mean, how do you lads feel? Because you've obviously been in the professional.
Look, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know him. I didn't play against him, but I know football, and I know being in a group of players. I know, having the world at your feet, having the enjoyment of success and what you create and what you strive to do and make as a footballer, and having your family support you through everything, and your wife, your children looking up to you as the man that you are. And I honestly, I found it very difficult, because you think about your own children, you think about your family, and yes, it's obviously it's a terrible loss, not only for his family, but for everyone, for the football, for Liverpool, for the players and everything they've had to go through. And it's just
there's not a football fan out there in the world that hasn't been affected.
No.
There is not a football fan out there that hasn't been affected, and what it does, it's actually far-reaching, because it makes us think about our own mortality, about who we are. I'm 55. I never had the career he did. I mean, not many footballers are lucky enough to be that good. But what it does, it makes you think about who you are, and about what he had. Everything. Think about this. He was married less than 2 weeks ago. He had a beautiful wife with 3 beautiful children. He's a Premier League winner. He's going into next season with an unbelievable, funny I'll say, but an unbelievable squad. How much would he looking forward? He's just been the UEFA Nations League win. He's lifted a trophy for Portugal, going to the World Cup. This is all right at his fingertips, and within a blink of an eye, it's taken. And this can happen to anyone listening to this now. Anyone. This is how precious life is, and it makes us all think about our own mortality.
Bill, I want to ask you about him as a player. The moments that you've shared, obviously you're a Liverpool fan. There must be some moments that he's achieved that you remember so highly.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he was on the pitch, 100% commitment, effort. I mean, he's known amongst Liverpool fans as probably the best finisher that we've had since probably Robbie Fowler. Left foot, right foot, good in the air. He had that kind of edge to him as well. He played with his heart on his sleeve, and he was a great team man. You didn't see any kind of complaints when he wasn't starting. He would come on. I mean, he suffered a couple of injuries, and obviously last year he was a bit up and down. But you see the kind of tributes today from people that knew him and from supporters. He was just a special player. And you look at his song. His name is Diogo. Number 20. We won the 20th title last year with Diogo Jota, our number 20. And I think they probably will retire the number 20 shirt. I know that's something that some fans don't like in sport, but I think his memory would be immortalised. And as a club, I think we do those things well. But hats off to every single football fan today with the tributes that they paid. He was a special player. But beyond that, he was obviously a wonderful father, husband, son. It's just heartbreaking. Yeah.
Billy, thanks for your call. If you want to have your say and you want to pay tribute to the fantastic player, Diogo Jota, who sadly passed away today, give us a call on 03717 22 3344.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.